Uh,
Sí, ¿no? Él sí, pero seguimos con tres chicos. A mí esto no me gusta. Però per otro lado, he recordado menys burxar una noia que jo no vull forçar. Això faltaria més.
Ara... So, welcome everybody once again to this closure of the ICMS 15. Luca Chiantore, who in a way started the Congress with his phenomenal recital the first evening, will start. Then I will say a few closing words, and then we will ask you to participate in a dialogue if you feel like it.
Hello, everybody. As a full-time professor of this house since its foundation in 2001, it has been a real profound pleasure to have you all here at the ESMUC, at the High School Music Catalonia. 5 days of exciting exchanges of opinion. It's been really an honor and responsibility to have shared these spaces with you, with so many figures whose books, whose theories we teach here, we discuss, let them permeate our classes, our lessons, our own writings, and in my case, in the case of other person here, even our own concerts and recordings. And it has been amazing, really, and a terrifying week, not just for allowing us to meet after these 2 terrible years, but also to having you here so closely in this wonderful conference, at the same time not too overcrowded, so everything was so close, so really, very amazing in a personal sense, but it's the same perception I know for many people close to me. And it's been a week that revealed many challenges that musical signification throws, both at musical theory and practice. And also the challenges that pose to itself. We inherited a separation between theory and practice that precisely musical signification can contribute so much to convert into a field of exchange, and why not, of shared creation, and creation of new form to think, recently unthinkable, and to rethink old approaches later forgotten, and why not creation of new ways of making music, to connect with our own world, perhaps with our most intimate being. And that is my feeling, my reflection. And thank you all. Thank you, Joan. That really, it's an honor to me to be here, but really, he is the master. The conference is him, absolutely. He and his wonderful group of people who surrounding him, but myself, I'm a little ashamed to be here without having doing nothing compared to the wonderful task. All these years, really. So too many years, not just this week, not just previous months, but really a lot of years of work here, very often against the resistances within this same home that we know.
Be careful, be careful.
No, but yeah, we know that different positions, but we all are consumed to be that, to know that we have different positions, and perhaps this difference is creative, it's a stimulus, but it's also the need to go. It's supposed to go.
Yes.
Elsewhere. You know very much all that, and I appreciate very much.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, but myself, I'm
Thank you.
aware. But we know that. We are fellow here since 2 decades, and we know very well that. But not just here, all around the world. It's not a matter of this place. It's a matter to create different fields and different approaches, and that is the fight, but that's what is more exciting here, in my opinion.
I agree. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Are you done?
Yes, perhaps we can discuss after that. We are also, perhaps this commentary could seem too short, but we are grateful to be here, and being here is in itself proud. That is my small speech at first, as I said, we as a SMUC, we are a SMUC. We are this school, yes. And being here is trying to be better each year after year, and that this conference, I hope it will be very important in the future.
This is turning into some sketch, some comedy sketch.
Oh, but you're right.
It was supposed to be something quite different, but it's okay. It's all right. I'm very pleased to hear you laugh.
Perhaps because everybody knows this.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious about that. I think it's the very best way to say goodbye to each other, which is what we're doing now. I just wanted to say very briefly, now that ICMS is over, ICMS 15. It was intense. It was good. And I was wondering what each one of you will take home with you as memories. I will certainly remember the terrific Winterreise that Enrique and Iñaki gave us last night. That's for sure. And also Luca's terrific recital the first evening, and so many other memories. That was also intense and good, wasn't it? And then I will remember some new personal acquaintances and the renewal of some old ones. The feeling that we're not completely by ourselves doing what we do and the way we do it. I will remember a picture I got from Hamburg with Professor Floros, all smart in his beautiful jacket, looking at his screen. We were talking about him. It was really touching, especially he sent a thank you message afterwards. Touché, you know, it was really beautiful. I will remember also the efforts of many of us trying to get rid of an old style of making theory, musical theory, unrelated to teaching and to performance. And of course, generalizing is always dangerous, but let me risk this one and open a dialogue perhaps afterwards. At ICMS, we might say music theory is related. Related to what? Well, to the mystery of what it means to be a human being, ultimately. And not, or not yet, a machine. To the mystery of learning and teaching, to the mystery of our abilities and limitations on listening and talking, reading and writing, to the mystery of being by yourself and at the same time in good company of colleagues and students. Generally good company. What else will I remember? I can tell you I will not remember some institutional difficulties for which no one is to blame, really. That is the dangerous thing about institutions, that there's nobody. Ultimately, there's nobody. You know, it's a ghost. It's an institution. It's a wall, and there's nobody to talk to. And then again, someone appears from the dark and helps you and gets you out of that situation. And that I will remember, certainly, because it's been really beautiful. I'm thinking of how we got out of these institutional difficulties through kindness, generosity, creativity, especially on the side of our dear volunteers, but also on the side of some of the colleagues who are confronted every day with institutional limitations. And I want to thank Eduard, who is doing here the technical work in an exemplary manner. Thank you. Gràcies, Eduard. In the name of all his colleagues, of course. And thank you all for coming and sharing, for understanding and cooperating in front of troubles, especially the first afternoon. Thank you, Rosa. Moltes gràcies, Mireia. Sou unes campiones. You've been amazing. And now, of course, everybody's expecting me to say where ICMS 16 will take place. Well, I don't know. I don't. And it's not my coffee, really. So all I can say is I've heard rumors about Slovakia, Bratislava or Brno. I cannot confirm, I cannot dement, I don't know. I can tell you, however, that there is a plan of trying to publish part of the proceedings of this conference, which is something that I can say with caution, but with a lot of pleasure. And my last words will be to thank Professor Tarasti for creating this flexible, strong thing that we call ICMS, that has been the home for many of us for many years, and hopefully will remain a home for many of us for many more years. So, thank you all. And now that we have clapped our hands, we can start the dialogue. If somebody feels like talking, here's a mic for him or her. I mean, it's not compulsory. But,
Thank you. No, as I'm an ex-student from this institution, and I would like to say that I'm very glad to be part of this ICMS 15, that actually it was kind of improvised for me, but it's been very enlightening to hear all, well, I couldn't hear all of your presentations, but the ones that I've attended have been very enriching for me, and I think I feel pity for some of colleagues that couldn't attend, because I think that they would be losing something that is very important. And even not for part of some of the students, but even some of the teachers that teach here, that I feel their lack, because having this very close to our school and to our city, it was a tremendous opportunity. So I wanted to add that.
Buenas tardes. Yo no hablo inglés. Espanhol ando um pouquinho, porém contarei com a tradução do mestre Ricardo. Uma grata satisfação estar com vocês aqui. É o meu primeiro congresso internacional com apresentação acadêmica, graças ao professor Ricardo, que tem me motivado bastante, me ajudado muito na área acadêmica. Sou uma pessoa que venho de família não tão abastadas financeiramente, porém, graças ao incentivo da academia, a gente percebe que há possibilidade de crescimento. E quando a gente encontra grandes figuras da área do pensamento, da música, da cultura, a gente cresce junto. As referências maiores, às quais eu tive contato de ouvir falar por meio do mestre aqui, foi do Eero e do Ratten, que inclusive um outro colega meu também defendeu um trabalho a partir do pensamento dele. E eu sou muito grato por ter tido a oportunidade de estar aqui, por conhecê-los pessoalmente, não somente conhecer. Apesar de não entender muito bem inglês, mas algumas falas me ficaram guardadas. E isso é importante. Só lamento que os meus amigos não estejam aqui, né? Porque perderam muito. E é uma experiência única. Academicamente, culturalmente, musicalmente. E isso, para mim, não há dinheiro que pague. E, como eu digo aos meus colegas, é um investimento na formação que, muitas vezes, nós não temos na nossa cultura brasileira. Lamentamos muito por isso. Mas, quando as portas se abrem a partir de figuras como ele e outros que pensam na formação dos seus pupilos, temos a oportunidade de levar um pouquinho da nossa identidade cultural, daquilo que nós somos e o que nós podemos ser a partir da formação que nós recebemos. E reflexões como essas que foram desenvolvidas e apresentadas por diversos acadêmicos de diversas áreas, de diversos países, mostram o quanto é importante as instituições e as pessoas se unirem para promover a cultura e a formação humana acima de tudo. Obrigado.
Cicero asked me to improvise a translation. Cicero is a former student of mine. He's presently my colleague. He's a researcher too now. And this is really another dimension of ICMS that should be highlighted, even an unexpected maybe dimension, which has to do with inclusion. Cicero comes from the bottom of the social pyramid in Brazil. Actually, when he was a child, he would have to face the snakes in order to go to the school. And when he arrived to school, normally there would be no classes. The result of that is that he became literate when he was 15 years old. And after that, he entered a seminary, a religious seminary, where he finally finished his formal studies. And now he is in his third graduation already. So he has worked a lot. And he wanted to emphasize the importance of this event in the formation of people throughout the world, in the formation of students. He quoted a colleague of his, my former student too, that had the opportunity of study in Cluj, in George Dima Academy, and that used a lot of Robert Hatton's work in his master degree. And how these references like Hatton and Tarasti were like dreams for he and his colleagues. And he said that he had the privilege of meeting these people in person, of sharing his doubts with these people, and of course to bringing some questions and some answers with them in their luggage back to where they come from. And so they would say that there is a whole, he emphasized not only social dimension of this Congress that is already blossoming throughout the world, but also human dimension. So he would say that his human experience meeting these people, these deities, for him, they were really deities. Well, actually, they are deities, come on. So meeting these people and bringing back the knowledge they have accumulated to their original communities is something priceless, absolutely priceless for them. And I would like to thank all of you, especially those that represent this process as a whole. He asked me to do that, so of course I would thank Robert and Eero and John and Oana, on behalf of Georg Dim Academy too, for this opportunity, which has so much to do not only with knowledge, abstract knowledge, but also with social inclusion and for a process of change as a whole in society, in the world. Thank you very much.
Well, I just will make a very quick comment. I will try to find the right words to express what I feel. First of all, of course, a big thank you to Joan, to every one of you who has made possible this 15th ICMS. I think that one of the lessons that this ICMS and musical signification gives us is that we kind of, and I think that in these last times with Corona and international diverse events that have taken place and that are taking place, I mean, it's kind of the world has been shaken, and maybe there's the opportunity to recenter in terms of the gravity center of everything, you know, and to put the humane dimension of everything in the right middle of everything. I think that music signification gives this opportunity to us. And just to make a very, for me, very easy example, I will try to make it easy for you too. I mean, for me, right now we are in a space, what's the most important of this space is not the floor, the table, the roof, the walls, no. The most important thing of this space is the void, is the space. Why? Because this void has to be inhabited. It gives the opportunity to the humane beings, to the people to live, to experience. As well as when we hear sound, we convert it into music by means of different relationships and different connections and meaning. So for me, it's very important because music signification and this congress, with all the volunteers as well, we recentered everything in people and meaning, and we try to get rid of structures and pureness and abstraction and numbers, and we go back to the essence that's life, so people, so meaning, experience. So, well, I hope I've been able to express myself, but a very, 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 very big thank you to Joan, Luca, Robert, everyone here, Anatole, Eero Tarasti is not here, Oana, Ricardo, Laurent, I think Milos, I don't know, Peter, I don't know every one of your names, but I really have every one of you which I have been able to attend your speeches. I really have you in mind and in heart. Thank you very much.
So I may sit. I don't want to be too visible. Anyway, maybe the comment that I would like to make is a bit too personal and mostly about myself. But I would like to thank Joan and whoever was involved in that for the possibility for us, for me and for Robert Hatton to play at this center, at the heart of the Palau de la Música Catalana. It was a marvelous evening. And personally, it reminded me about what the core of my professional work is, actually, that it is performance, of course, and of course my education as well. because at some point we all have to make decisions regarding our specialization in a certain field, and in case of many of us, this is music theory, this is writing, reading, and doing research, so to say. But this event reminded me who I am. I am a musician, and this is what I'm taking with me. So thank you, moltíssimas gracias for all of this. Thank you very much.
Anybody else? Yep. Yep. Out. Of course.
I have been so moved by your presentations and by your voices and your contributions in so many directions. And it's just amazing to see students that I've taught. And Dominica, I can't help but look at you. I wanted to say, Castro, that my father grew up very poor in West Texas. Oh. And that is where I met Eero Tarasti, ironically, in 1980. And he invited me to Finland. And 4 years later, I was able to go. A few years after that, I was teaching at Michigan. And I was not, shall we say, appreciated for the odd ideas that I had. I walked in one day, and I was told I was no longer going to be teaching there. And this was when I was working on musical meaning in Beethoven. And it was a shock. But as you, I found something inside that was very deep, important, and resilient, and continued to work. So eventually, I became who you know me now, but I was not that at first. And I wanted to say this because I'm so moved by all the growth and changes and so forth. And I wrote something that I was going to give to Joan later. It's a poem. And listening, Dominica, to your presentation about those summer festivals in Poland, where they shared the reading of poetry and so forth, and I just thought, I need to share this with everybody. And it comes from the piece I talked about, the Allemande. As in an Allemande by Bach, our virtual lives are lived in high relief. El monde intérieur. Where creation and fall into innocence is beyond recall, a yearning past all nostalgia, inscribed by hand and by finger, unscrolling and unschooled journeys as we find ourselves enfolded in resonance. Ever reverential and in awe of El monde intérieur.
Touché, Robert. Let's call it a day. Let's stop this, otherwise I don't know how it is. So thank you very much, and have a beautiful summer. Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. I remember Charles Ives' words, very provocative words. my God, what has sound got to do with music? Of course, this is a metaphor. We know that the point is in experience. And during such event, we can experience many ideas, many topics. And this concept of dialogue. Dialogue is a foundation for culture, not only for music, but also for our life. This is foundation, this is a crucial idea. And we can also say that thanks to music, we can teach dialogue all people. It's very important in politics, in theater, in our relationships. So dialogue is very important, crucial point. And let's develop dialogue. Thanks to music, through music, and for our human life and human being. So thank you for all people involved in 15th ESMS, to Joan, to Eero Tarasti, to Robert, to all speeches, because this is for me, I love music. Thank you very much.
Dziękujemy.